Welcome to Politics Disassembled, a Bailiwick Express podcast. I'm Matthew Leach. Here we break down the decisions made during the most recent debate. This week it's the 2024 budget, and specifically the attempts made to amend it. It's been another difficult week for the Committee for Education, Sport and Culture, and even more so for the island's teachers, students and parents. Not only did the Transforming Education programme essentially get defunded, a last-minute amendment during the budget debate that would have handed ESC some cash to at least fix a deteriorating educational estate was thrown out too. So where are we, and how did this happen? I'll take a look back over this week's debate to explain the arguments and the final resting place that ESC finds itself in. Deputies threatened to tie themselves in knots during an extended debate on the future of education, with various attempts at keeping the Transforming Education programme in the capital portfolio. Despite a prior debate on the funding and investment plan leading to the states prioritising the second phase of the hospital modernisation project over the TEP, the decision left a sour taste in the mouths of the public and the politicians themselves. It was an impossible decision then, but Guernsey is in an impossible place. Without a firm plan for new taxation, the island doesn't have the money to fund both. Attempts to increase borrowing limits to fund the programme were thrown out, and a delaying amendment from Deputy Gavin St Pierre failed to give ESC any rope. It would have directed P&R to submit new funding options for the entire capital portfolio, including the inclusion of the TEP. Immediate actions for the programme would have been funded through the General Revenue Reserve. Many supported the idea of keeping the TEP in play, but a feeling that P&R would be unlikely to find any new funding for it, and that this amendment would almost certainly lead to another taxation debate, saw its downfall. The same fate befell Deputy Charles Parkinson's amendment, which was similar, but did not seek to add the TEP to the capital portfolio, but instead direct P&R to come back with a new funding suggestion specifically for the TEP. The amendments were in turn called a lifeboat and then a last chance saloon for the TEP and for education in Guernsey. Both amendments were voted out. Finally, a last-minute amendment from Deputy Bob Murray, which would have given ESC £26 million for essential building upgrades, also lost out. There was general discontent about the lack of detail, with essentially a few bullet points outlining how much money was needed and where. It leaves ESC without funding for its flagship project. It leaves the sixth form centre moving to Lamada Carteret indefinitely. It leaves the island's young people with a stagnated education model that doesn't seem to be moving anywhere anytime soon. While the island finally found political support for one of the education models, there's absolutely no funding for it. So, what happens next? In a jarring statement, the president of ESC, Deputy Andrea Dudley-Owen, warned during one of her speeches that the island is getting to the crazy situation where they were having to consider providing post-16 education off-island. Whether or not that's true, or just a knee-jerk reaction to a bitter debate, is yet to be seen. You've been listening to a Bailiwick Express podcast. If you like what you heard, please share, like and subscribe so we at Bailiwick can continue to pull apart the stories that affect you, the listener. Thank you for joining us.